On today's Saints Happy Hour podcast, Kevin, it is time for nostalgia. We're going to go into the Wayback Machine. We're going to watch the Saints Eagles from 2009, and we're going to enjoy when the Saints had an offense that was fun and exciting, and we're going to see Heath Evans touchdowns. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. If you find us on the YouTubes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to the audio-only version of this podcast, go to saintshappyhour.com, become a patron so you can support the show. All right, Kevin, so it's the summertime, and the Saints minicamp is done, and you know, they don't have much news, and if they do have Saints news, it's usually bad. It's injuries or whatever, Kamara leaving camp, you know, so that's no fun. So during the summer, we like to do fun stuff. So today, we're going to do, thanks to a patron, Joey, he sent me this link of it's the 2009 Saints-Eagles game, but it's not the whole game. It's 17 minutes of highlights, condensed. And I figured during the summer, let's have some fun. Let's go down memory lane. Let's have some nostalgia. We can watch old Saints games that are condensed because they have them all over YouTube. And we're going to watch the Saints-Eagles in 2009. But I was going to say, Kevin, to any patrons or listeners watching this or viewers on YouTube, put games that you want us to watch in the comments. And if there's a condensed version of that game on YouTube, we may watch it during the summer. In June, we'll pick some games. We'll watch them. It'll be fun. And they don't even have to be like super famous Saints games. Like this game isn't that famous. It's just week 2 from 2009. But that's what we're going to do, Kevin, because it's fun. And we got to do content in the summer. And I want to feel good. I want to get people excited about the season. And what better way to get excited than to remember the good times?
All for that.
So, Thomas, you have the video ready to go, queued up?
Yeah.
So fire it up. So this is week 2, 2009. The Saints, the week before, had beaten the Lions, kicked them in the teeth. The 1-0 Eagles. The Eagles didn't have Michael Vick because he was hurt, so they were playing Kevin Kolb. And the Saints come out, Kevin, and they're just rolling on offense. And the fun part about the 2009 Saints was on offense, they just stomped people out.
Yeah, from the get-go. There's Meacham.
I mean, it's Meacham, and the thing that I had forgotten as I was watching this about 2009, this drive, not so much. But look, I mean, they just come out, and it's boom, 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 7.
Surgical.
I mean, and the thing is, it's just high octane. Now, the funny thing with the 2009 Saints, and you probably remember this, is it became a running gag during the year. I think we even did it on this podcast where, like, the Saints defense, they were going to give up like a giant play first quarter almost every week. And there it is to Deshaun Jackson. Like it's like a 65-yard touchdown. And they just did it like every week, even in the playoffs, like Tim Hightower running for 70 yards. Like they did it consistently. It felt like every week, Kevin, the Saints defense would just get torched for a giant play, right?
Right, but they were getting all the turnovers. All right, yeah. There's the Drew Brees sack.
There's the thing. And that's the thing we'll get to in a second. But, like, the one thing that was, they struggled a little bit. Like, the offensive line struggled a little bit in this game to start. But the thing
Drew steps up in the pocket, finds Colston, nearly gets the first down there.
I mean, this is Colston at, like, the peak of his powers, right? And the thing is, I feel bad because they have some younger people that because if you might have, if you're a really young Saints fan and you're like less than 25, you might remember. You don't necessarily remember peak Colston. You remember Colston at the end where he got the yips.
Wait, who was that? Was that 21? Who was 21?
Mike Bell, man. And that's the other thing. Like this team, they had Heath Evans at fullback, and then remember they had Hartley made all the kicks we remember, but at the beginning of the year they had John Carney, right?
Yeah.
And they
so wild.
Because Hartley got suspended. I think Hartley got suspended for wasn't he driving? He said he was driving somewhere and he needed to stay awake, and he got like a busted up drug suspension. But to your point, the other thing with this offense was I had forgotten how good the run game was. Because 2009 is a long way away, right, Kevin? It's getting in the rear view. But
Garrett Hartley played 5 games in the 2009 season.
I'd forgotten how good the Saints' run game was in 2009. Mike Bell just appeared out of nowhere and was
Pierre Thomas, man.
Pierre Thomas too. Pierre Thomas. Look at that young, spry Devrian.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we went from don't throw it to stone hands to Devry somehow putting it together and being a guy.
Yeah, Devry Henderson, his first 2 years, he felt like a bust. And suddenly he was reborn with Sean Payton. And the thing is with that Saints defense, they gave up a ton of yards. And the crazy thing with that Saints defense, though, Kevin, was they got turnovers start to finish. It started in the Detroit game. I think they picked off Stafford 3 times, and you'll see in this game in a little bit. And it just didn't end until the Super Bowl. And it's of all the things that I've seen with the Saints, good and bad, that may be the most craziest, most unique thing. Is just because, the stat nerds and everybody will tell you can't live off turnovers. Eventually it'll end. And it just didn't. It was like it was like a turnover fountain. It just lasted all year, the entire year. Whenever they needed it, they got it.
Yep.
And
then there was a near turnover in the red zone that the Eagles gave up, and then here a near turnover in the in their own red zone for the Saints. Saints recovered the fumble.
Yeah.
I love watching Drew Brees step up in the pocket.
Yeah.
I'll never get tired of that. Shockey shows up.
Yeah. I mean, the Shock Man was really good in 2009. He really was. He wasn't
going over the middle, running into people.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit.
He wasn't peak Shockey, but he was really, I mean, he caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Look, I mean, that's just Reggie Bush.
It's I didn't even see the number, and I'm like, oh, I know that's Reggie, just because of the way he
looked. I mean, that's just Thomas, freeze it and run it back, because that's just, I mean, Colston. This is just pure Colston of look at the body control. I mean, this is
the Reggie run, and you can see how fast his legs are moving, and then here comes the pass.
I mean, this is Colston. He's throwing it, and that's most quarterbacks, I don't think make that throw because they're
he's putting it where only Colston can go get it.
Yeah,
Colston
that's right.
has to jump up, turn his body, and catch it coming back down.
Yeah,
and he does. I mean, it's incredible ball control, incredible body control.
That's right.
I mean, that's the kind of shit that I mean, they managed to develop that.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, and then of course the Saints.
It was quick that Colston suddenly became Breeze's guy.
Yeah, and then of course this is Kolb. This is amazing. Kolb on these 3 games alone, Philadelphia turned him into a 2nd-round pick, and I believe he got a $25 million contract from the Cardinals.
Good for him. Get that money.
Andy Reid, just as a side note, that son of a bitch, he could turn anybody into looking a good quarterback. AJ Feely, Cobb. I mean, he did it. He won with Alex Smith, for God's sakes. Remember Jeff Garcia in 2006? The corpse of Jeff Garcia won a division title. Andy Reid could turn anybody to a decent quarterback. But this this game. I think this encapsulates, and if you're a Saints fan, obviously you're watching. This is why you're watching this. But the second half of this game, I think it kind of really embodies the fun of the 2009 Saints. Because Kevin, look at 17-13. It's a close game. It's on the road, and in the next 5 minutes, the Saints are just going to knock the Eagles the fuck out. Like
Eagles are receiving,
and here we go. Boom.
Good
Fumble.
return.
Fumble. Chris Reese, he's getting practice. He needs to practice recovering a fumble on a kickoff. He'll do that in a bigger spot in the Super Bowl. That was a little easier. But look at it. I mean, the Saints they get it. And look at that run game. I mean, that offensive line.
Mike Bell.
I mean, they're moving, dude. They're moving by. And then Heath Evans, boom, touchdown.
Wait, Heath Evans, good God. I'm so used to just, they hand it off to Carney, and Jesus Christ, Heath Evans.
You forget about him because he only
called it a touchdown. I saw one ref point to like the 3-yard line.
No, I mean, look at the nimbleness on Heath Evans, man.
He's
not.
It is.
No, he's not. I don't think. Look at that.
His heel hit the chalk there. His heel hit the. I mean, the ref might have had it.
Yeah.
Eagles challenge.
Yeah. Oh, Young.
What'd they do? I'll be damned. They ruled it a touchdown.
Wow. Yeah, everything went right in 2009.
See, this all. You know what? This. I'm sure we had to have brought this up because this was all the Saints are getting all.
And
the
then
calls.
pick up.
The Saints are getting all the calls.
Is that Shanley?
They get the calls.
Wow.
Balls go in the right place. All that kind of stuff. Pause.
Look at Shanley
it was just great.
Look at Shanley with the pick, and the Saints are marching right back down. And I mean, look at that. Boom. Mike Bell again. Touch. I mean, this game went from 17-13 to 31-13
in 4 minutes. In less than 4 minutes
blink.
of game time.
And yeah. Like it just is the 2009 Saints in a nutshell. Like
magic.
Their offense could chew you up, and their defense, they had to do was hunt big plays. That's
Drew
all
Brees had two guys bearing down on him, and he managed to throw a perfect dime to Devery Henderson, who caught it. Every catch Devery made over 20 yards, to me, was a miracle. Every single one of them.
Yes. And by the way, I forgot to do it at the beginning, but I want to remind you, there's a link in the description. There's a link in the description if you're just the audio only version of this, if you want to follow along. And look, Devery Henderson was good, man. He played a ton of years for the Saints. And the thing that with Devery Henderson, he could play all the positions. He could block. And he terrorized people in a way. I mean, look at they are just cutting the Eagles to shreds.
Yeah.
And
carving them up.
And this was like
butcher.
And this was the beginning of 2009, where I don't necessarily knew the league quite didn't understand. Like, this was a Saints team that was going to
understand.
We didn't. Well, we kind of did. They had stomped some people out in the preseason, so that kind of got us excited.
Well, that's the preseason. How many times do we do that to ourselves?
Well, no, I mean it was like it felt but 2009 felt different because they were just. I want to say they outscored teams in the first like 3 games or something, like 120-10 or something. It was like yeah.
But I'm looking at no, because they beat the Lions 45-27. I'm not going to say anything about the Eagles yet. But it was blowouts for sure.
Yeah, it was blowouts. I mean,
making them run. Touchdown there. Is it a touchdown? Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder.
Saints even had the bye week at week 5.
Yeah.
They had the early bye week.
The Saints didn't trail the first 5 weeks of the year. Like their first 5 games. Like they didn't trail at all. And I had forgotten. They played the Giants after the bye week. The Giants were 4-0. And the Saints just stomped them out too. So
I think it was the Giants game where I started to feel like, okay, this is something. And then the Dolphins game where they came back
and won.
on the road, I was like, all right, yeah, we definitely have something. And at that point, I looked at it like we're playing. This is a house money season. We're playing house money. They kept winning, and I just kept cackling like an idiot the entire season because it's like, what is this? Why is this happening? I have no idea. What God did we please?
Sean Payton is challenging this play. Did he catch it? Did he not? That looks like a catch to me.
I don't know. I don't know if he had control of it.
Is Peyton going to win 2 challenges back to back? Oh my God!
Reversed.
Wow, we should have known at that exact moment they were winning it all, Kevin. When they win,
like they were like these are the things
back to back.
These are the things you pointed this out during that year. You were pointing this out. It takes the little things like that. Right. You've got to have the ball bounce your way. You've got to make turnovers at just the right time. All these kinds of things. You got to win challenges.
That's right. Yeah. And I appreciate that somebody took the time to cut up this highlight in like 18 minutes and just like, it's mostly fun Saints highlights. I appreciate the goodness of that. And the thing is with
mostly Saints highlights because they were beating the piss out of these guys and dominating the game.
The fun thing is this, the incredible thing is like the Saints were really good in this game and it's really fun. Like this isn't even probably like a top 5 offense. Look at that. Mike, look at this. Reggie just carving them up. This isn't even
Reggie
probably
was looking to hand that ball off to somebody and then probably didn't see any Saints fans and was like, out of hell with it. I'm hanging on to it.
The 2009 Saints were so great. This probably isn't even a top 5 offensive performance of the year. And they were just, destroying. What do you
mean? What do you mean in terms of total yards?
Points, efficiency. Like they had games where they were way more efficient than this.
This is their season high. They tied total points scored. It's this and the Giants game.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I feel
offensive yards.
This was
like their 6th highest total yardage game.
I feel like the Patriot game in 09 and maybe the Dolphins second half was more. They were but you're right. Maybe this. They're so great. I'm knocking it, and you're telling me no. It was their season high of points and yards. But I mean, we do have a moment coming up where he who shall not be named goes like 100 yards for a touchdown.
And look at that. I mean, that's smart football right there.
Yeah, wow.
Drew knows he ain't got a damn thing running in the end zone and just flicks the ball out of bounds, says, fuck it, I'll give up the safety.
Yeah.
Give him the ball back.
Yeah. And I mean, the defense, I wonder, in the age of Twitter and social media, there wasn't, in 2009, Twitter and all of social media wasn't the same. I don't remember the teeth gnashing and worrying about the defense as much. I think if this Saints team in 2009, it would be amazing. Oh, look at there he goes. We won't give him his name, but he's
cell block inmate number something.
Inmate 87654 going to that. Inmate 6754 just was. He had like a 10-game heater where that dude, he was in contention for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
For about half the year. I mean, he was on that type of heater, which was incredible. But I really wonder, like, if the 2009 Saints showed up in 2024. I think there'd be a lot more angst about the defense, where in 2009, I don't think we had that much angst about the defense until the end of the year.
But you got to look at where we were and expectations.
That's
and
right.
All that.
That's true.
Let me go back to.
Look at Drew Brees with the nice hair there, Drew.
2007, we were 7-9, and then the year prior was the first season with Peyton and Brees, and we went 10-6.
That's right.
And it's like we were constantly putting up points out the ass. We're in year 4 now of we've got an offense, we've got people that can score. Let's just, we're going to have fun with this. We're going to enjoy it.
That's right.
The defense just started showing up in places, and we were like, screw it. We got guys that are making plays. This is
That's right.
great.
Just don't be terrible.
Something this year. We
That's
might
good
actually
enough.
make the playoffs.
Just don't give up 27. Give up 27 or less. We'll be good.
Right.
We'll be good.
And so let me see. And the funny thing is, the Saints only gave up 27 or more 6 times on
That's
the
right.
year.
The Saints, they gave up. I mean, they were the classic yards don't mean shit on defense.
And here's the funny thing. You know what the funny thing is? Those 6 games where they gave up 27 or more, they won all of them. They won all of them. They lost in overtime to the Bucks, which was, I think, the season finale, 20-17.
The second to last game, yeah.
Sorry, second to last game. They lost to the Panthers, but I think that's because they pulled. I think they had pulled everybody. And so, that's whatever. And then they lost to the Cowboys 24-17. That was their first loss of the season.
Yeah.
So, again, it's like, okay, the offense didn't, it was the last game of the season for one of them. So you can almost wash that because they knew they were the first, they knew they had the top seed in the conference. The other 2 games, it's just, the offense had a couple of off weeks.
Yeah, and the Tampa game was weird. The Tampa game was really weird because they were up 2 touchdowns.
Every game, it's like 10 points, 17 points, 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
The next highest was 24, and from there, they won them all.
Yeah.
They won them all.
The fun, and I've said this before, and you can, before we get out of here, you can disagree with anyone. I think the funnest time as a sports fan is when you go from being bad or mediocre to really good. That first sort of transition. The second most fun is the first title. Because you have the hope and maybe a little bit of expectation, but the first title you enjoyed. After you get the first title, it's so much fun. You have the expectation of it. It's never, I wouldn't say it's never quite as the same because it is fun. I've watched other sports.
But here's the thing. Going from it was all packed in those first 4 years because all of a sudden they jump to 10-6, they make the conference championship, it's like, oh my God, this was such a fun rebound and all that kind of stuff. And then the next couple of seasons, it was like, well, look, this is a fun offense. We're going to be in games. We're going to be competitive. This is fun. We can enjoy this. They finally established, oh no, we're fucking good. We are good with 2009, which was the first title season. And then after that, it's like, oh no, you guys thought we were good? We can be better than that. And then they were. And they were better than that for a sustained number of years.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
And then with that, obviously comes the heartache and stuff like that. But again, you had those first 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was the perfect maelstrom right there.
It was. And listen, the thing is, man, as fans, it might be unfair, but we will tolerate a lot if you can score points.
Yes.
If you can score points, man, we will tolerate a lot. Where like if you are the opposite and you are a great defense and your offense sucks, we are less likely to cut you slack. And is that fair? I don't know. The stat nerds might tell me offense is more sustainable. I think that's true, but I'm not exactly sure. But man, we cut if you can score points, because scoring points, like you said, it's fun. And even like 2007, 2008, like it was frustrating, but like it was fun going to the stadium every week because we're like, well, the Saints, they might give up 35, but I know they're going to score 30.
Right. So look, I'm right now. I'm looking up the 2008 season. They lost to the Redskins 29-24. They lost to the Broncos 34-32. Lost to the Vikings 30-27. Lost to they lost to the Bears 27-24, and then they lost the season finale to the Panthers 33-31. But they were putting up points in most of these other games.
Right. That's right.
Like, they were scoring a bunch in these wins.
That's right.
Like, shit, the Packers game, 51-29. But it's like, we were getting the thing that we craved.
That's right.
Forever and ever. We wanted the offense to look competent and good and consistent, and we got that. And we were just like, screw it, we're just going to roll with it. Like, you want to give us shootouts and
let's do it.
Struggles where it's going to be like, high 20s, last team to get the ball wins type things. Fine, we'll roll with that. We need that. It's better than sitting through 3 quarters and knowing the fourth quarter is just going to be an absolute slog because you're getting your brains bashed in.
Yeah. Listen, losing 45-42 is way more fun than losing 17-13. And I know some people would say it's the same, it's a loss, and that's not real football. Brother, give me 40 points and 500 yards. If I got to sit for 3.5 hours, give me the fireworks. I want the fireworks. I want the pyrotechnics. But like I said, guys, thanks for joining us. Like I said, put in the comments games you want us to see. Even shoot us a link on the YouTube if you can find. Me and Kevin will do it again. So, Kevin, thanks for joining us. Thomas, thanks for running the show back at Poland. He did an incredible job getting that video up, slowing it down, speeding it up, so we can have some fun. Guys, thanks for joining us. And until next time, the bar is closed.